Hello, welcome back to Access. I'm Nathan, and I'm here with Niklas. Hello, Niklas.
Hello.
Who is the design director on the new Star Wars Battlefront game, which we've just been having a sneak peek at the beta today. We're going to ask some questions about that, but my first question, I'm sure it's one you've heard before, Niklas. I want to know, what is your favourite Star Wars movie? And I want to know why. I want to know what Star Wars means to you in terms of, is it the locations, the story, the character? What says Star Wars to you? And what's your favourite movie?
Oh, favorite movie? That's a loaded question.
It certainly is. Yeah, we're all judging you.
Yeah, we're all judging. Yeah, I think I actually have to, put my little spin on that question because I actually, when it comes to the movies, I had this really cool thing when I was a kid because I had the original movies. I'm a child of the 70s, so there were no other movies at the time.
No.
Which was, all the three first films. And me and my brother, actually, my little brother, we watched those every weekend on like a rotating schedule.
Yeah.
So it's that is my favorite. My memory of the weekends with the films, and then we just picked anyone we want. So that would be my personal answer to that.
That's really similar to mine. Well, and the reason I wanted to kind of get that out of you is because so this is my first time playing Battlefront, the new Star Wars game today, and obviously it's really multiplayer focused. So in terms of making sure, without being able to deliver a story, which is where you might normally put things from a big kind of story or license like Star Wars in, how do you pack Star Wars into your game? What's important to what have been the important things to get right in order to make this a really strong Star Wars game?
Yeah, I think that comes down to the Star Wars battle fantasies, because that has been our guiding principle when it comes to what Battlefront is as a game. It's about that, you have a bunch of memories, you have fun fantasies of the battles of Star Wars, right? So what the game tries to do, and what it does for all the fans out there, is to allow you to jump into those and do it your way.
Yeah.
It's kind of when we were kids and playing with action figures and oh yeah, I'm Boba Fett and I'm going to take you down on Solo, something of our own fantasy. And this is this is the digital playground for you to just play Star Wars the way you want to play.
And Dave is behind the camera. Dave and I are probably the biggest Star Wars geeks, I'd say, at PlayStation Access. And the things that when we look at just the footage and the trailers from this game, the stuff that jumps out is just, I remember that bit of hardware. I had a toy of that. So is there anything that you have put in the game specifically that kind of, it triggers a little memory of, I had this I had like a shield generator from the Battle of Hoth, and seeing that in the game, I was like, man, this is incredible.
Yeah, that's the funny thing with that is that we were, with our collaboration with Lucasfilm, we were able to go to those places where the movies were actually shot, and we were able to take pictures of all the props and look at all the concept art and all that stuff. And we used our photogrammetry technology and workflows to actually make the real things into digital.
Wow!
So we usually say this, that when you wield the lightsaber, it's the lightsaber. When you jump into the X-wing, it's the X-wing, because that's actually what it is, and that just speaks to the fandom of it is the real thing, and you can play with it now.
So you don't have a favourite piece of Star Wars hardware? TIE fighter guy?
How could I pick?
A lightsaber? No.
Well, I'm just a big X-Wing fan from seeing the foils doing their thing in the movies. That just gets me every time.
Well, and one of the things that Dave and I, again, when we were playing today, noticed for the first time was, so you're having a battle on the ground. We were playing Drop Zone, I think the 8 versus 8 mode, having a lot of fun with that. But then you kind of notice that there is there's an entire environment going on of the battles, just the kind of things you might not even notice. So in the sky, Star Destroyers were taking on, was it a medical frigate up there? And then the medical frigate crashes into the ground. You guys must have had a lot of fun kind of painting those backgrounds.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, of course, to be able to portray and paint that picture, and that's kind of what it's supposed to do. It really shows that Star Wars is huge and epic, and you are now going to be part of it. And that's kind of the communication that you get. Even if you play a smaller mode, there's still this sense of there's something really big going on. And I think that just gives you so much of that fantasy fulfillment when you play.
Yeah,
and it's really, just awesome to be able to portray.
And talking about that kind of the fantasy element, a big part of that is that these, I don't know if you're calling them hero characters, but there will be people from the movie that will drop into multiplayer, and you can control them. I didn't earn any, so I don't know how this works exactly. Could you describe how you do it? It's obviously really important to have kind of key figures like that in the game, but how do you do it without it just completely, because those guys are pretty strong, without completely just one-siding an entire battle? Can you kind of talk about how those people drop in and how you manage that?
Yeah, it depends on the mode you play, actually, because, like you say, they are really powerful. I mean, they wield the Force, and they have lightsabers, and they're Jedis, and so on and so forth. So they're really powerful, and we want them to be powerful because they are. But then again, of course, we can't make the game just unbalanced or anything like that because of it. So we have designed it in a way to work with different modes and different rules. And for example, if you look at the Walker Assault mode that you can play in the beta, you have this one life power-up that allows you to, like, yes, I found it, I can now become, Darth Vader. And then you are actually super powerful, and you can turn the tide of the battle. You can be like a boss character in the middle of a multiplayer round, and just be that for one life. So it's a lot of, it's a lot of stake.
Limited.
Yeah. So a lot of responsibility on your shoulders.
Don't mess this up.
So that's how it works in that mode. But then in other modes, you can have other rules for those characters. So it's trying to cater to different experiences and fantasies.
And of course, you mentioned that the beta is that's going to be in the beta, and the beta is obviously coming out on the 8th of October. That's just a few days from when this video is going live, and we know that people watching our channel have been really looking forward to it. Can you just kind of explain what's going to be in there, what people are going to be able to play?
Yeah, so in the beta, we have the Walker Assault mode on Hoth. We have the survival mission on Tatooine that you can play alone or cooperatively. And then we also have this drop zone mode on Sullust, which is a new thing that we're letting people see and try in the beta. So it's based on those three main experiences. It's a big 40-player mode. It's the drop zone, like action-packed smaller mode, and then it's the single or co-op mission that you can play.
Amazing. And my last question then is about the DLC which you guys have already announced, because obviously the new movie is coming out soon, which everyone's it's a big Christmas for Star Wars fans. And I understand why that's DLC. I guess it's because you need to wait for the movie to come out. But that means that you've been must have been quite closely with the guys at Lucasfilm in order to make sure that environment is as it is in the movie. Can you kind of talk about what that process has been like a little bit?
Yeah, it's like you say, it's been a close relationship and a close collaboration with Lucas. We've been able to they're giving us, great access to all these things, including, some sneak peeks into the episode 7, allowing us basically to give players a taste of what it's like.
And what is the DLC mission? It kind of sets up what happens in the film? Is that right?
It's that desert planet, that Jakku planet that you saw in the trailer. And what you saw there was like these huge ships crash down into the desert. And what we are doing with the Battle of Jakku DLC is that we give you a taste of what was the event that led to that.
Cool.
And that's what you can play.
Amazing, and we will as well. Thank you so much. Obviously, the beta's coming up soon, so guys, and it's open beta. Everyone can sign up. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
So do go and check that out in the next few days. Niklas, thank you so much for being with us today. And you guys stay tuned to the channel. We have got loads more coming up. Cool.
Oh, thank you.